What's up? It's your boy D Change coming at ya with another Daily Dave. So I've been thinking about media consumption, I guess. It's something you hear a lot from like podcasters and um, actually a lot of people are just kind of parroting this saying, and I would too. But the idea that too much media consumption is not so great for you, and I tend to agree. Um, I think the problem is that at least for like newscasters in the States, the financial model, the business model is based on like how many how much money you can get from advertisers. And so I mean that's like TV in general, right? And so what happens is news outlets need to focus on things that make people like latch on to their channels, to their programming. And that tends to be news that's like anxiety inducing, like sad stories, stories that make you mad, right? There's that study that went out about social media, and it basically concluded that articles that make you mad are the most engaging. They're like the best for getting engagement and playing with the algorithm. So that's why if you participate in your social media, you tend to see more stuff like that because it's what gets the likes, the angry faces, the shares, and all that. It gets people riled up and ready to like not take action necessarily, but it makes them want to like get on their keyboards, show it to other people, all that stuff. So the news is an extension of that. It's kind of a chicken and egg thing where it's like both kind of go hand in hand. And so when you're exposed to that too much, I feel like it's a really bad thing because if you just watch the news 24/7, especially during a pandemic, you're just gonna think everything's going to shit. Like we're all gonna die. There's no peace. It's hopeless. Well, that's some days. It just really depends. It depends on the day. Depends on like national, federal briefings. Depends on discoveries. Depends on different reports from here and there. One day they'll be saying one thing, the next day they'll be saying something else. And I guess we just have to remember that it's not entirely one person's fault necessarily, because this is kind of more intricate than just oh, they're doing this to hurt us, right? Part of it is they kind of figure that out, and I think they would realize, oh yeah, we got to be much more careful about fact checking and stuff like that. But at the same time, you got to deliver, you got to make the monies for your job and all that. Especially now, since I think as more time goes on and um, we don't see as much of a recovery, um, more and more jobs will be lost. So that's an interesting thing. I mean, it's something I've been thinking about for the past couple of years anyway. And I've considered stuff like complete media diets or fasting. So it's like I already don't watch TV regularly, so I don't run into programming like that in general. I think that really helps out to maintain or keep away from the anxiety. But the problem is I do still visit Facebook and like Twitter a lot. And then back then I visited I mean I do this in waves. I'll go to Reddit and I'll be on Reddit a lot. Lately I haven't been visiting Reddit purely because I think I've gotten used to not going there as much. And I think it's for now it's a good thing. I like going there for research, like for computer parts or for streaming advice and stuff like that. I definitely noticed that trying to keep up with the coronavirus stuff and like geopolitics and certain things, certain subjects, aka the news, that really like wore on me. It made me pretty exhausted. So I definitely recommend some sort of cutting out too much of this stuff. I know that when I see too much stuff on Facebook that's related to something I just really don't want to see a lot of, I end up hiding the posts, and if I have to, I'll like unfollow people or pages or whatever, unlike them or whatever, purely because like I want to curate my feed and experience to be a certain way. I'm still not very strict or narrow about what the feed is supposed to be, but it's generally, I want this to be like friends, family, close, loved ones, my like network in general. But I do try to stamp out, or I like, it's not like I'm gonna come impose things on people, but it's like I don't need the copious amounts of negativity or like the shit posting or whatever. Too many memes sometimes maybe. But yeah, but on Twitter it's a little bit harder because I feel like it's the granularity is not the same. I mean, there's like stuff like lists, but I haven't messed with them too well, and I don't like that it's like I'm not sure if a private list shows up, but you get notified if you get put on a public list. Some people don't like that. Whatever, it's just one of it's a free flowing information type of place, and that's why I've noticed that whenever, like, there are times where I go there and I'll spend too much time there because it's like just keep scrolling and there's so much more stuff to get mad about. Gotta like and retweet it. So I do try to calm down on that, and I do notice every now and then I'm like, oh, I'm on the deep end, I gotta pull it back. So anyway, yeah, I guess I just wanted to mention that because it's something that I've been hearing more often lately on the media that I do consume, like podcasts that are both timely, but also some of them are timeless. And yeah, just because I've noticed kind of the shift in my mood, and like, yeah, like all the Reddit stuff, like, good, I'm not mad about this anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's hard when we're all in like kind of an isolated state that we definitely feel that lack of connection and stuff like that. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. Wanted to say consider cutting out some social media or news, or following the news every now and then. I've tried a few things, like on Google phones or on Android phones. There's the Google Now slider where you slide it over and it shows like news stories that are catered to you. I've disabled that before in order to not waste time there. Yeah, I've tried to unfollow. I will like deliberately go through my Facebook feed and then like unfollow things I don't want to see. Similar to Twitter. It sucks because I still want to see like stuff that maybe I don't agree with, but I've noticed that if someone gets like super, I don't know, it's like the message and the messenger both need to be like pretty good, right? Because if it's like, hey, you're saying something that's probably worth thinking about, but all you want to do is like yell at people about it, not gonna work out so great. And I don't tend to like stuff like that much, just purely because it's like, are you trying to make a point or are you just gonna shout? So that's just that's my thing. And yeah, like I said, I don't regularly watch TV. I'm like a original hipster or something like that. And so the good thing is I pretty much deliberately avoid cable news and mainstream media news outlets, but I see them on like websites that people link and stuff like that. So it just happens. And people love sharing like things they think are ridiculous anyway. So every now and then I do catch a glimpse and I'm like, oh, like that's not cool, or like what's going on here, that type of stuff. So yeah, I might need to go on a media diet again, and hopefully replace it with something more like, I hesitate to say productive, because to me it's still, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I don't think we need to like force ourselves to be productive during this time. Like, sure, still do your job if that's what you're doing, or if you need to get a job, work on getting a job, or if you do want to pick up a hobby, like that's great, right? But like this, I think the reality is, yeah, this is it is kind of rough, and we just have to adapt to it, right? So it's okay to have off days, basically. Today is an off day for me. Every day is an off day, it seems lately. So yeah, I would say consider, you know, start slowly, right? That's how you build habits. You start with the easiest thing you can do. So you could be like, instead of an hour, instead of a couple of hours of TV every day, just cut it down by an hour. Replace that with like reading a book, or working on like an indoor plant garden, or journaling, meditation. You probably don't want to replace it with something else that's equally as like engaging / like meant to make you addicted. So like mobile games, arguably even video games. Like maybe you don't want to necessarily replace it with that, but yeah, it's really up to you. I know what I try to do. Like I'm bad at that too, though. Like I'll go, okay, none of this media, right? And then instead I'm just like dedicating all my time to other media, watching Twitch streams or something like that. So yeah, I try to spice it up, try to vary it, see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. I would say give it a shot if you want to. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. You can let me know what kind of a media diet you've done before and how it's gone in the comments. Otherwise, I will talk to you in the next one. Peace out, guys.